to this, man.
Because that's an insult. All the work I put in, you don't name them people after me.
Shaquille O'Neal just straight up shut down Kevin Durant's case for GOAT status, and he didn't even have to break a sweat. For years, KD's been trying to convince everyone he belongs in the same conversation as Michael Jordan and LeBron James. 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs, one of the smoothest scorers the game has ever seen. But Shaq hopped on his podcast and completely ripped that argument to shreds.
I think he has his own special category, like me. I'm not in the GOAT category, but I am one of 2 of the most dominant players.
When Shaq speaks, people pay attention, and what he said landed harder than one of his legendary dunks. Shaq made it crystal clear: Kevin Durant isn't in the GOAT conversation. He's in a whole different category, a group reserved for players who had insane talent but never quite reached that elite, top-tier stratosphere. Coming from a 4-time champion who's been there and done it all, that's a brutal call. But it gets even juicier. The tension between Shaq and KD didn't just pop up out of nowhere. This beef has been simmering since 2017. It all started during Shaq's iconic Shaq'd in a Fool segment, where he was clowning on JaVale McGee for his classic bloopers, like he always does. Everyone knows it's just jokes. Except KD didn't see it that way. Durant, who was JaVale's teammate on the Warriors at the time, stepped in and called Shaq's antics childish. And he didn't stop there. In a separate interview, KD made it personal. He slammed Shaq's skills, saying he was a terrible free throw shooter, airballed freebies, missed dunks, and couldn't hit shots outside the paint. According to Durant, Shaq wasn't skilled, just massive. His dominance, KD argued, came from size, not talent. And just like that, the fire between them was lit.
Free throw shooter, he missed dunks, he airballed free throws. He can't shoot, he couldn't shoot outside the paint. He's bigger than everybody, he didn't have any skill. But he was big and stronger than everybody. And he's still a great player, but you had your flaws too as a player.
Kevin Durant, a guy who hadn't even won a single championship yet, was out here critiquing the game of a 4-time NBA champion. That's wild. KD was calling out Shaq's flaws while he himself had never proven he could carry a team all the way. That's not just confidence, it's straight up bold. And Shaq? Oh, he wasn't having any of it, not one bit. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, the Diesel dropped what might be one of the coldest, most disrespectful lines in their entire feud. Shaq basically said, "You ain't one of us."
O'Neal told Golliver, quote, "He can't talk to me like that. He may think he does and he's sticking up for his teammate. He's a great player, but you ain't in the club yet. You're on the outside in line with Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, and John Stockton. You're not in the club with me and those championship guys. That's why I tweeted him, mind your business."
Shaq dropped KD into the same league as the best players who never won a ring. Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, and John Stockton. Absolute legends, Hall of Famers, and still ringless. Shaq's message was crystal clear. KD, all your talent, all your scoring titles, you ain't in the club yet. But here's what a lot of people miss. Shaq wasn't just talking trash, he was teaching a lesson, breaking down the generational gap. Back in the day, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest ever, told the young Shaq he wasn't in the club yet. And Shaq, he didn't hop on Twitter, didn't whine, didn't make excuses about different eras. Nope, he took it personally, and then he worked. Kareem said it publicly. Shaq's numbers didn't mean a thing without a championship ring. So what did Shaq do? He locked in. He dominated the league. He came back with 4 championships. No tweets, no arguments, no posts. He let his game speak for itself. Now, fast forward to KD's era. Legends like Shaq and Barkley pointed out that his rings didn't carry the same weight, and KD didn't respond on the court. Instead, he went on Twitter, sometimes with burner accounts, clapping back at random fans, arguing with teenagers in comments, telling the old heads to get over it. That's the difference. Shaq got called out, and he's not wrong. To really get where all this tension started, rewind to May 2016. The Oklahoma City Thunder were up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. KD was averaging 30 points a night. Westbrook was going nuclear. They had just smashed the 67-win Spurs team in the previous round, 1 win away from the NBA Finals. And then the pressure hit. Everything collapsed. Game 5 in OKC, Durant drops 40 on 29 shots. Not enough. Thunder lose by 9. Game 6 in Oakland, KD has 29 but goes 10 for 31 from the field. The Warriors win again, forcing a Game 7. Final showdown with the world watching. Durant scores 27 on 10 for 19 shooting. Numbers look solid on paper, but not enough when it counts. Across those last 3 games, KD and Westbrook combined for 30 turnovers. 30! They had the defending champs on the ropes, up 3-1, and still couldn't close it out. The Warriors didn't just win the series, they pulled off one of the greatest comebacks in NBA playoff history. They marched straight into the finals, and even though they lost to LeBron and the Cavs in 7, the damage was done. Because 2 months later, instead of coming back with revenge in his heart, KD made the most controversial move in modern NBA history. He joined the very team that had just beaten him, the same squad he and Russ couldn't finish off. Instead of proving he could take him down, he rolled with him. That one choice changed how the world would see him forever. Rings and no rings, the narrative was locked. And that's why Shaq's words hit so hard. KD knows Diesel isn't just talking noise, he's speaking the truth. Shaq has never been shy about why Kevin Durant gets under his skin. On the Big Podcast, he laid it out plain and simple.
I would say I did the same thing as KD to win my championships.
I didn't say you did the same thing. I said you created super teams.
Under the
just
rules.
like they exist today.
No. The beef that people have with KD is that you were up 3-1 versus the team. You lose the series to the team, then you join the team.
Yeah, you can't do that. I agree with that.
Okay, so
I agree with that statement. But you can't say that you didn't have super teams. You were surrounded by superstars everywhere you went.
But I did it under the rules of the system. When I first got to Orlando, I didn't have much. I saw that we can get him. The next year, I saw that Horace Grant was saying he wasn't coming back to Chicago. I snatched him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So then when I leave, I go to L.A. I see that, Kobe, he's coming, but he's not quite there yet. So give me a B. Shaw. Give me a Robert Ory. Give me a Fox. Like, this was all done under the
Fox.
Yeah, like this was all done under the rule system. It ain't like we played against them and then lost them, and then I said, hey, you want to play with me next year? Nope.
That's the biggest difference right there. Shaq built dynasties. KD, he joined one. Shaq went to Orlando and helped build that franchise from scratch. Then he rolled into LA, teamed up with Kobe, and put the Lakers back on the map. Wherever he went, he was the main guy, the one everyone else wanted to play with. Shaq didn't chase success, he created it. Durant? He hopped on a team that was already winning. He jumped on a bus that was already rolling toward the finals and grabbed a seat. And that tension between them? It's been boiling for years. But one moment stands out as the ultimate spark. January 2023. KD got a little too confident on Twitter and decided to test the Diesel. Shaq admitted on TV he didn't know much about a Lakers trade target, and Durant fired off the tweet that lit the fuse. Shaquille doesn't know ball now. Boom. That line? Enough to make Shaq snap. And he didn't just clap back, he obliterated KD online, roasted the hairline, dropped a closing line that cut straight to the bone. Respect the bus driver. 4 words, hit harder than a slam dunk over 2 defenders. Shaq was sending a message loud and clear. He drives the championship bus. KD, he's just riding shotgun. Durant's comeback? Weak. He said, "Damn, I got cooked for asking a simple question." That right there said it all. The moment a legend checks him, he folds. KD can talk spicy online all day, but when real basketball royalty comes at him, he goes quiet. And the numbers, they don't lie. Durant's playoff record with Golden State, 38 wins, 10 losses. That's a 79% win rate, 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, pure domination. But everywhere else, 57 wins, 50 losses, barely above 500, 0 rings, finals loss in OKC, early exits in Brooklyn, swept by Boston with the Nets, swept by Minnesota and Phoenix. What does that tell you? With Steph, Clay, and Draymond sharing the load, KD looked untouchable. Without them, just another guy with great stats and no hardware. That's not being the man, that's riding shotgun. Now stack that next to Shaq. 4 championships, each with a different story. Finals with Penny Hardaway in Orlando, 3 straight titles with Kobe in LA, a 4th ring with Dwayne Wade in Miami. No matter where he went, Shaq was the alpha. He drove the bus, set the tone, and took teams straight to the top. Durant? Every time he tries to drive solo, it ends early. First or second round exits have piled up too many times to count. This debate, it's not just about rings. It's about respect. It's about what greatness really means today. The old heads, Shaq, Barkley, and the rest, they grew up believing you had to beat your rivals, not join them. When Jordan couldn't get past the bad boy Pistons, he didn't call them up. He came back stronger and buried them. When Shaq couldn't beat the Bulls, he didn't team up with Michael. He went to LA and built his own empire. Durant? He spins it differently. Told Bill Simmons the game changed. Players have more freedom. Sure, the game changed, but the standards for greatness didn't. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, they all faced pressures in different eras, and they each proved they could lead a team all the way to the top. They didn't hop on the bus, they drove it. Durant keeps telling the old heads to get over it. But here's the harsh truth. They're the ones who decide legacy. They vote for the Hall of Fame, shape the GOAT debates, and define basketball history. And right now, they're all saying the same thing. Kevin Durant doesn't belong in that top-tier conversation yet. So where does that leave KD? At 36 years old, the clock is ticking. Talent? Never the question. Leadership, legacy, perception, that's what's still missing. And unless he proves he can drive the bus himself, those old heads will keep reminding him he's still sitting in the passenger seat. Durant's on his 4th team now, and that championship window closing fast. Shaq didn't sugarcoat it. He said straight up, Durant belongs in his own special category. One of the greatest scorers ever, no question, but not in the GOAT conversation. That's the label KD never wanted. He doesn't just want to be an elite scorer. He wants his name whispered with Jordan and LeBron, wants his rings treated like they matter the same, wants to be the guy who climbed the mountain solo. But let's be real, since leaving Golden State, that respect hasn't shown up. 2 first-round sweeps, multiple underperforming teams. Every time the pressure rises, his squads crumble instead of conquering. Nobody denies KD's skill. His shot, efficiency, scoring touch, all elite. But GOAT talk isn't just talent, it's legacy, leadership, being the bus driver, not the passenger. Until Durant proves he can carry a team start to finish, take the punches, lead through adversity, and still bring home a title, legends like Shaq, Jordan, and Kobe won't let him into that top-tier circle.